Hey there, everybody. What a fun weekend it's been so far. Friday and Saturday nights, they've been intriguing as far as cinema baseball is concerned. Friday night had four walk-off home runs, uh, come from behind victories, five walk-off hits total. That Mariners versus Diamondbacks game on Friday night was a back and forth. Fourth game, it had lodged balls in the same exact left center field where the World Series lodged ball happened, but since it didn't include the Dodgers, it wasn't considered cheating. So go figure. Um, I know. I'm a Dodger fan. Anyways, um, four walk-off hits, four walk-off home runs. Uh, White Sox and Tigers. The first. Oh my God, I can't I can't speak about the Tigers enough, man. Those guys are gritty, bro. Like those guys will get the job done. They're young, they're talented, they're hungry, they want it. Davis Martin on the mound, he's phenomenal. Uh, they have the next guy up mentality. Murakami went down on Friday night, and Miguel Vargas said, "I got you, bro. I got it from here." I think Murakami is headed to the IL if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, man, just fun baseball all around. I have the White Sox, man, giving a run for their money to the Cleveland Guardians. They're 2 games out of first place. I wasn't too sure. I'm double checking right now, but yeah, they're 2 games out of first place. Um, in the division in the wild card, they're sitting at the second seed, right behind the New York Yankees, who have also played phenomenal. They're exceeding my expectations. Honestly, I know the Yankees are the Yankees, but with Garrett Cole coming back, that was a huge boost to already the phenomenal way they've been playing. So that's only just adding to their arsenal. They blew out the Athletics on Friday. They fell short on Saturday, but they still hold a 6.5 game lead there in the first seed of the wild card, and they're only half a game behind the Rays in the division. So a game and a half in the division from the Rays. So it's exciting baseball. I know we're heading into June. Today's June 1st. Actually, I'm gonna do my little month of May team earlier later on tonight. Uh, but yeah, man, just exciting baseball all around. Um, Again, the four walk-off hits from home runs from Friday night. It included the Mets, the White Sox, the Rockies, and who else? Who else? Who else? The Mets, the Rockies. Man, I know I have four. Where the hell's the other one? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So the four walk-off home runs included the Mets, the Rockies, the Pirates, and the White Sox. And man, all those games were fun to watch. I saw the highlights for all of them. I was actually watching the Pirates game. Uh, uh, in the clip in the MLB Network, they turned to it, and I was able to see the walk off by Brian Reynolds, uh, 2-run home run into the left field bleachers there. Um, and yeah, man, I don't know if it was because it was Friday night or what, but I was really happy with the way the crowd got hyped into it. Like it looked like they had over over 20,000 for sure. They've been They've been low on attendance this year, but it seemed that this time their fans were into it all the way to the ninth. They stuck around, close ball game, and yeah, man. Um, I can't stress it enough, man. You come support your ball club, man. If not, another team's gonna take your talent, and we all know how that turns out. Um, the White Sox, as a matter of fact, they had a packed stadium, you know. So I think Miguel Vargas actually spoke about that earlier in the or after the game on Friday, where he was just talking that they feed off the crowd. They feed off the intensity of the fans that they cheer on their players and stuff during an at bat, during a base hit, during a scoring run. Everything matters to them. Murakami went down a play before Vargas hit a run scoring. I think it was a run scoring double earlier in the game before he hit the walk off home run. I think he might have tied it. I can't remember the situation, but Miguel Vargas spoke about that, and that's what I'm talking about. The White Sox, they have the next man up mentality, kind of like I know I bug you guys, but kind of like the Dodgers, man. Miguel Vargas came from that organization. He saw enough leadership from the Dodgers where he could take that to Chicago. We know that his first season there he was miserable, but then 2 seasons later and he's one of the veterans now in that young club, and he could learn so much, or players could learn so much from him because that's what he saw in LA. That's why they say veteran presence is the glue to a clubhouse. I mean, I've never been in a major league clubhouse, but I would only assume. um, Miguel Vargas, man. I think during that day, earlier on Friday, they had done this segment with Mark DeRosa where he was breaking down his swing and he was just saying how important he was to the lineup, and then he comes out Friday night and he proves them right, man. He proves them right. He goes deep for a walk-off home run there. But again, man, the White Sox, those kids, they're unbelievable. I'm a little biased because they gave my son a bat in spring training. They treated him well. They treated him right, and kids look up to that, man. It might be, it that team has no reason being as successful as they are, but the young talent gets them there. Um, uh, Again, the kid, they're admired by the fans. It's Southside Chicago baseball all over again. 2005 atmosphere in that ballpark. I could just see it, man. I could see it, and again, fans come out, bro. Come out to support your home team. I can't stress that enough. I know who the hell am I? Like I can't even freaking afford the Dodger tickets, but I'm sure that those Chicago, those Pirates, those Guardians tickets are affordable, man. And that's another story. But yeah, man, that was the White Sox. The Rockies, the Giants had a huge meltdown on on Friday night. They allowed 5 runs in the ninth inning. Uh, Again, they were gonna close it out, but those that Rocky Mountain uh, altitude helped the Rockies to their or the Rockies took advantage of that. Um, let's see, we talked about the Mets versus Marlins. They came back to the Marlins came back to tie it late in the game, and the Mets they didn't give up, man. They're resilient as well. They're kind of turning things around in a way. Um, they end up walking it off on the MJ Melendez 2-run home run in the 10th inning, and they're chewing, they're chopping at the bit. You know, they're chipping away there in the wild card, but still got a long ways to go. I think they're like 6.5 games out of that third place seat in the wild card, led by I think the Cubs or the Diamondbacks have that third seat. I'm not too sure, but yeah, man. Um, something has to happen for the for the Mets, and I don't know how late it is in the season now, or is it too late in the season, or do they still have you know hope? And it's barely 2 months in the season, so hopefully hopefully they turn it around. Um, as far as the Pirates, they also Brian Reynolds. He worked a tough at bat. I think it was Rogers, the closer, and he worked them, man. He got a pitch he could handle. He said in the interview that all he was trying to do was poke it, next man up mentality. He got a good one to hit and put it over the fence in left field. Walked it off and got a W. Uh, that Central Division is actually the probably the best one. Every team is over 500, including the Reds, who are one game over 500 at this point. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they trail the Milwaukee Brewers, who, and surprisingly to me, I don't know, I probably don't know baseball anymore. But they're 5 games out. The Cardinals are 4.5 games out. The Cubs are 4 games out. And that division, that the Milwaukee Brewers are completely dominating, man. Young ball players and Bryce Turang, who put the ball in play, get on base, score runs. Abner Uribe, I love where he was coming from. I love the fact that he showed so much passion, so much emotion towards a team that he felt was talking crap throughout the game. His manager spoke about it. I think he even got suspended a game, and he's appealing it. But that's what we want in the game. His gestures is what got him in trouble, in my opinion. I think also the fact that where the ball game was at, I think it was like a 6-0 game at the time. I can't remember if it was bases loaded, but I just I love the enthusiasm. I love the emotion. If batters are gonna pimp their home runs, why can't pitchers celebrate the strikeouts? It's just the gesture that he made. It's not. We got to remember that we're role models. Like I said earlier, when I was speaking about the White Sox, that kids are watching, man. Kids, they look up to you as a role model, because that's where most kids want their baseball careers to go, where it's at a professional level. And I think that's what got Abner Uribe, or whatever his last name is, in trouble. But for sure, man, I love the emotion. My Vesia, who's on the Dodgers, he shows the same emotion, but he's like more like pumped up. It was his bobblehead out here in LA on Friday night, and he fooled Schwarber with the 3-2 pitch that was up in the outside corner, and Schwarber just got fooled. I think it was a slider or some type of off-speed pitch there, and they brought him in to face the lefty, and Schwarber, sure enough, got fooled. He later redeemed himself on earlier in the game. He had actually hit a home run, and then eventually on Saturday they pull away late in the game in the eighth inning to win a tough ball game against a Dodger bullpen, and Scott, who has been nails this season. And he put a pitch over the plate, and eventually I think it's Edmundo Sosa who put it over the fence there in left field, into the home run seats there, and just out of the reach of Alex Call. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and what can we do about it? Um, the Pirates. I'm sorry, the Padres. They're trailing the Dodgers 4.5 games out. They lost to the Nationals. In what was a really a close game on Saturday. That series is 1-1. That rubber match will be on Sunday afternoon. Um, the Orioles. Oh my God, the Orioles, bro. Like on 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 Friday, they give up a 5-run lead, if you will, in the seventh inning. You know, they're up 5-0, and the Blue Jays come back to win it. Score 6 unanswered runs of that Orioles bullpen, and then on Saturday night, they they the Blue Jays give up the game, man. The Blue Jays blow the game. Hoffman again, he hasn't been himself this season. I don't know his stats, but me personally, this is his third game that I see, that I actually watch, where he either blows a save or loses the game, or leaves the game where you were up 4 runs, and now the bullpen, you give a tough task to the bullpen, and they can't pick you up. So that's what ended up happening on Saturday. The Baltimore Orioles, they scored 9 runs in the I'm sorry 5 runs in the ninth inning, to hand Hoffman and the Jays the tough loss there. I think they only got one out. So yeah, man, the Jays, they better turn it around. They better pick it up. They're 29-30, I believe, at the moment, and they're sitting at 8 games out of first place in the division, and in the wild card they are sitting at the third place wild card. But you have teams like the Oakland, like the Athletics, like the Texas Rangers, like the Baltimore Orioles, Minnesota, Houston, who are all sitting 2.5 games or less out of that third seed wild card. Uh, Even Boston is sitting at 4 games out. The LA Angels are sitting at 6 games out at 23 wins, 36 losses. The Kansas City Royals, who are sitting at 6.5, and then this team right here, who I really had winning the AL Central Division, is just, I don't know, injuries, just bad luck, man. 22 wins, 37 losses, sitting at only 7 games out in the wild card. So, like I said, the Blue Jays, they need to turn it up a notch. They got Trey Savage back. They're getting some pieces back. Their catcher Valenzuela, he's really been stepping it up. In Kirk's uh, uh, place, or filling in his shoes. But how far can that take you? So they're getting healthy. They're turning things around, but they need to turn it up a notch a little bit. Um, Again, oh, the lodge ball, man, the lodge ball in the Mariners Diamondbacks game Friday night, it just brought me back so many memories from the World Series. Uh, Game 6, where Barger absolutely destroys a ball into the left field wall, and this time around it was it Gabby Moreno? I think it was Gabby Moreno who, at the time, chased Kirby out of the game in the sixth inning. He absolutely crushes one into left center over Rosarena's head. And then when Julio Rodriguez was gonna grab the ball, he realized that it was stuck in the wall. Kind of he played it off though. Julio Rodriguez played the carom, so I guess I kind of saw that wrong. But yeah, man, that was that. I spoke about the Dodgers earlier. Friday night, where Schwarber got struck out by Vesia with runners on, the tying run. He was a tying run at the plate at the moment, And you know, Robleski, man, and that's the mentality that champions have. Robleski, this is his second outing where he comes back from this you know he comes he comes back from a start that he's not happy with, or a start that doesn't define him. The first one was against the Braves, where he still pitched 8 and 2/3 despite him uh, being down early in the ball game. So I think that day he gave up 4 runs in the second inning, if I'm not mistaken. The Dodgers end up losing that game 7-1 or 7-2. That's the play. That's the game where the right fielder with bases loaded and Muncy hits a shot to right field, and he bangs into the wall and makes the catch to save the game, save the lead. But Robleski still went 8 and 2/3 that game. He saved the bullpen. He allowed 7 runs. 7 of them were earned. I think he struck out 7 still. He allowed 2 home runs or something like that. And then he comes back against the Angels and absolutely dominates against the Angels. He threw like 6 innings, I think, 6 innings of shutout baseball. Um, so yeah, man. Robleski, he has that mentality. I think that was the game where the Dodgers blew out the Angels. I think it was like a 15-2 ball game. Let me see if I could put it up. Uh, so yeah, Robleski pitched 6 innings that day. He allowed 7 hits, but only 2 runs. He struck out 5, walked 1, and for that game he had an ERA of 2.49. And then against the Brewers last week on Saturday, he was awful again. He allowed on was it I'm sorry, it was on Friday. He allowed I think it was 4 runs in the first inning, if I'm not mistaken. Uh he he was he was he did obviously didn't have his best stuff, but he still managed to get 5 innings for Dave Roberts and the organization. That's really eating up innings, in the start, where you don't have your best stuff, and it's gonna be tough for your team to score some runs. Uh, he still decided, you know what, I'm gonna man up and eat some innings here for the club. Uh, so that wasn't his best outing of the season. He comes back Friday night against a team that's really turned it around in the Phillies ever since the Don Mattingly became the interim manager there in Philadelphia. You know that's really always been a good team, a good roster, but you know things happen, and he was chosen. Rob Thompson was let go, and he was chosen to become that new sheriff in town, the new captain, and it's been turning out. I don't know the exact record, but I'll pull it up for you. But they've been playing really good baseball. Again, they're like 29 and 28 at this point, uh, and they're sitting in 2 games out of reach of the Chicago Cubs for that third seed in the wild card. That's gonna be a good one, man. It's the Mets, Miami, Washington, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and they're all sitting within like 6 games. Uh, and then Washington, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh are sitting within 2 games out of that third seed. So some teams better make adjustments because those youngsters are coming, man. Those Washington Nationals they're solid. I spoke about them earlier in the season when they played the Dodgers. They hustle, they run things out, they make every play, every grounder at first base, every play at first base, eat hard, man. Hard decision, a hard out, you know. So yeah, man. Again, back to the Dodgers. It was home run derby on Friday for the Dodgers at the expense of Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler, who was 4-1, 4-0 at the time, ERA under 2. But yeah, man, the Dodgers hit 4 solo home runs. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, shit, it was Otani, it was Muncy, it was Was it Pajes? Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. So it was Freddie Freeman, it was Max Muncy, it was Otani, and it was Will Smith who hit home runs that day off of Zach Wheeler. Uh, a team that relies on each other, relies on the entire depth of the lineup to win ball games. The bullpen, who has been obviously the best one this season. Tanner Scott has turned things around. He did give up the game on Saturday night, but that's only one game out of the entire season that he's looked bad. But I have no doubt he's gonna bounce back from this outing. Um, but I do want to touch up on Mr. Kyle Tucker, and I'm big on not panicking and stuff. But I think we've gotten to the point in the season where I think we can talk about it at least, not panic completely. There's still 4 months of baseball left after May, but I really do think that it's worked for the Dodgers, for Dave Roberts and stuff. Mookie Betts, freaking who was blazing hot on Saturday. He's starting to turn things around after that lineup change there. He's wearing his pants low now, so baseball is very superstitious. So I think that we can do the same for Kyle Tucker, Will Smith, who also is batting, I think, seventh now. Andy Pajes hasn't lost a beat. He went from seventh to batting second, and I thought that was gonna damage him, but he's been he's been a dog for us this season, man. But Kyle Tucker, in my opinion, if I was manager of the Dodgers, I obviously wouldn't be making this freaking video trying to get somewhere. But Kyle Tucker, man, I think with the talent that Dave Roberts has in that lineup, I would put him in front of Shohei Ohtani just to turn the lineup over. Batting ninth, no pressure. The bottom of the lineup gets on base, so opportunity for RBIs and productive at bats are gonna come around. But you need someone like Shohei Ohtani to protect you. If you want to break somebody out of a slump, you gotta put him in front of Shohei. Shohei just brings that presence, even though he's barely starting to become Shohei this season, 2026. That his presence matters, at the manager's minds. So if they see that Shohei Ohtani's on deck during Kyle Tucker's at bat, you best believe he's gonna get good pitches to hit, man. So I think that's why the Dodgers bottom half of the lineup has done so good, so well because uh, one, they get on base. Obviously, they hit when they're supposed to. They're players that have to prove themselves, and they have Shohei Ohtani to protect them, and I think Kyle Tucker can definitely benefit from a change like that. The Dodgers are so deep that they can afford a Kyle Tucker to hit ninth again. He his season. I know we look at the money that he's been getting paid, but his season hasn't really been that bad at all. I think he still hit 4 home runs, like 20 something RBIs, 270 something batting average. But I think that if you move him, I absolutely believe this. If you move him, Mr. Dave Roberts, to the ninth hole, he will produce in front of Shohei Ohtani. And I know it's a lefty, back-to-back lefties there in the ninth and first spot. But I think it'll pay out, man. Some bullpens have so many lefties to go through, but you have Pajes there in the second hole to redeem for that righty, for those two lefties, for those two back-to-back lefties. You have a deep enough bench where late in the ball game If you don't feel comfortable with the Kyle Tucker situation, you can always pinch hit for him. But again, man, I really think and I really believe that if Kyle Tucker was to hit ninth in front of Shohei Ohtani, he'll break out of that slump, man. So that's my take on that. Um, one play I did want to talk about from Saturday night. Uh, the Andy Pajes light at home. I think he should have been called out, man. I think he should have been called out. I'm gonna put the clip once I shoot out this video. But I really think he should have been called out because during the slide he never touched home plate. His foot never dragged on home plate. It went over the home plate, but it never touched home plate. So I believe that Real Muto got the tag on his heel of that very same leg, of that very same foot that slid over home plate and not on home plate. So I really think the umpires missed that, and I could see where fans, they get upset that the Dodgers get all the calls. But in this situation, I agree, man. I really think that call got blown. Um, the umpires were sitting in perfect spots there. He shouldn't have missed that. But it's easier when you have replay. But yeah, the replay center shouldn't have missed that. I think Real Muto gets the heel there of Andy Pajes, and Andy Pajes never touches home plate. Um, maybe if they would have, I don't know the rule to be honest. Maybe if they would have challenged that he never stepped on home plate and he went out to the dugout, maybe it would have been ruled out. But for sure, I never saw his foot touch home plate, and that's me thinking, at least from the angle that I saw in the replays. I feel like Real Muto, his glove clipped his cleat there, his spike, which in my opinion should have been called out. But hey, again, me not knowing baseball, can someone please explain why Kim was the one to be, sent down, and they decided to bring up Espinal after he was already DFA'd. I know he cleared wagers, and that allows the Dodgers to re-sign him or whatever. But why Kim? Is it because he's a righty and they have too many lefties, or what was the strategy behind that? Because I'm starting to feel like I don't know baseball at all, man. Like Alex Freeland, I think Kim has been playing better baseball than him. He's been filling in spots where Freeland and Espinal cannot. With Teoscar going down, I feel that Kim could be a good outfielder. I don't Alex Call, I don't know, man, but I really like